यत चित्तात्मा त्यक्ता सर्व परिग्रहा त्यक्ता
त्यक्ता सर्वपरिग्रहा
शरीरं केवलं कर्म शरीर
शरीरं केवलं कर्म
कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
कुर्वं नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
Okay, great. Any volunteers who would like to read this translation in purple?
I can.
Please go ahead. Gitanath.
Such a man of understanding. Am I missing upper part of the?
No, I
Oh,
think you're reading
okay.
the right section.
Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence, perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. Purport. A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad results in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that because he is part and parcel of the Supreme, the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his own activity but is only being done through him by the Supreme. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, or he has no desire for personal sense gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, so a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. A cruel proprietor of the animal sometimes kills the animal in his possession, yet the animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna conscious person fully engaged in self realization has very little time to falsely possess any material object. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not, therefore, become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reactions to his actions. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for reading so nicely. Okay, so we were discussing in this section how Krishna has given this knowledge previously to Sun God, and in disciplic succession, the knowledge comes, and how he is giving it now to Arjun being the devotee and friend. And Krishna is introducing himself as not just Arjun's friend, but somebody who has been giving this knowledge even in the past, and how he has taken so many different births like us. But the difference is he is the Supreme Lord. His births, his activities, they are divya, they are transcendental. And if we are able to understand all the details about it, then we don't have to take birth again. So like that, Krishna is basically, sharing that aspect, especially when Arjuna asks, how did you give this knowledge to Sun God? Because Sun God came long ago. So in this way, Krishna was explaining. Thereafter, he is in this particular section describing how a person who is advanced spiritually, how that person actually conducts themselves. Those who have transcendental knowledge and those who are beyond the conditional level, um, and specifically the devotees of the Lord. Here, Prabhupada explains the way they conduct themselves. So, we had discussed last time 20th shloka, that how such a person who's advanced, abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, performs no fruitive action. This is important. It's not that he doesn't perform no action, performs the action, but it's not fruitive. It's not based upon fruitive mentality. Fruitive mentality means when you are looking for fruits, but the person is engaged in all kinds of undertakings. So, whatever undertaking means, whatever kind of work needs to be done, the devotee doesn't run away, conducts that, but does it without fruitive mentality, and that's what we discussed was akarma. Today, Krishna is going further and he's saying what consciousness this person is having. The person is nirashir, without desire for results. And the mind and senses are controlled. The person doesn't have a sense of proprietorship. This is not my property, this belongs to the Lord. Anything which is under my control is actually the property of Krishna. And I am just a simple caretaker. I am just given this to take care of. And that person, for himself or herself, he is happy with the bare necessities. He doesn't need too much. He doesn't want to make his life complicated. But at the same time, if something comes by Krishna's arrangement, then he or she uses it in the service of Krishna. So that is how he conducts. If something comes, why not? Use it for Krishna. But if nothing is there, no problem. So three pillars of controlled life here. They're mentioned. Yat Chittatma, controlled mind and intelligence. So if our mind is controlled, then our intelligence can actually think clearly. Otherwise, the intelligence will be under the control of the mind. And even if the mind wants to do wrong thing, the intelligence will help the mind to do wrong thing. That's what happened in the case of so many criminals. They may be very intelligent. So many terrorists, they may be very intelligent. Smugglers, thugs, even drug addicts and others. They may be very intelligent, but they have uncontrolled mind, and that uncontrolled mind actually influences the intelligence to be used in wrong direction. The intellect normally should direct the mind to the right thing. But in this case, mind is directing the intelligence towards wrong thing. So if the mind is controlled, the intelligence is refined, and it is spiritual intelligence with vivek buddhi is working properly, then it prevents the mind from wandering into material desires. So that is yata chittatma. Tyakta sarva parigraha, which means feeling of no proprietorship. Whatever is coming from the arrangement of the Lord. I will be using it for the service of the Lord and for higher purposes, not just for engaging in my sense gratification. Of course, I have to take care of my body, my family, my relatives, all of that I may have, to do. And Esopanishad, it is explained that in this world, all the resources are actually belonging to the Lord. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. But as part and parcels of Lord, some is given to us as our quota. So we can take a little bit, but for maintenance of the body and the soul, and should not encroach upon other people's quota. Like, unfortunately, the way the modern world is conducting, humans are encroaching upon others' quota, animals, oceans, forest. We are actually um, encroaching upon all these other living entities. Prabhupada gives a nice example there, saying that how if you see a bag of wheat or bag of rice is lying and it opens up, it is lying on the side of the road and it opens up. Maybe some birds will come, some animal will come, they'll take a little bit, whatever they can, take or eat. and they'll go away. But if human comes and they see the bag, they will take the whole bag away, right? So that is how the hoarding propensity is there. So, in one sense, this can be used in service of Krishna also, but generally, it is being encroaching upon other people's or other species quota. And we see that how, if you um, see the statistics, we are ruining the earth very aggressively. Many years ago, I was reading that how 70 billion animals are being killed. I think I don't remember in the time frame exactly, but it sounded like, every day or something like that. But the point is, these animals have the right to live. Why do we have slaughterhouses where they're killed? Why do we have so many, uh, you know, different ways in which we are encroaching upon these other animals? So that is something which we have to see. It will give so much heavy karma later on. In certain situations, you may have to defend yourself and you may have to take care of your situation. And for that, minimal resources, bare necessities, or even protecting yourself from those who may be encroaching, could be animals, could be others, that is understandable. But unnecessarily killing animals, that is never appropriate. And then here, Shariram Kevalam Karma, which is bare necessities of life. So, yes, we have been given this body, we have to nicely take care of the body, and we have to take care in a way that we can execute our duties and responsibilities. Okay, so this is how devotee is conducting, spiritually advanced person is conducting themselves. Then Prabhupada gives in the purport the example of a machine. Even this body is a machine. If you see the hand alone does not have much which the hand can do. Till the time the hand is connecting to the body, the hand has all the properties and is very valuable. But if the hand gets cut off from the body, the hand cannot survive for too long. And hand, that particular part of the body becomes useless for the most part for executing the functioning of the body. Similarly, a machine may have some screws, it may have some gears, it may have some, different parts. Till the time those parts are connected, they're very useful. But if they get disconnected or detached from the machine, then you can't really use it much in isolation. Within the machine helps you in, taking care of so many tasks. But if that particular part is detached from the machine, the value is not much. Similarly, our real constitutional position where we are supposed to be is with the Lord. And to the extent we again reconnect with God, to that extent our value magnifies. And to the extent we remain in this material world disconnected from the Lord, to that extent, we are not able to spiritually be useful for ourselves. Can anybody read this particular slide? Any volunteers?
I can read it.
Please. Thank you.
Acting is a part of the supreme whole. True detachment is not becoming dead or inactive. It is acting with absolute precision, coordination, and cooperation within the Lord's plan. The illusion. claiming independent ownership over our bodily machinery or our acquired wealth. The reality: a machine part has no independent proprietary right. It finds its perfect value only when serving the complete machinery. The result: when we act simply as a humble instrument, maintaining our body only to execute our prescribed duties, karmic reactions bypass us entirely.
Yes. So till the time we are being used by Krishna, we don't get karma. I had given the example the other day of a gun. When you shoot a gun, is it gun at fault, or the person shooting the gun is at fault if that bullet kills a person? Who is at fault? Is gun to be blamed, or the person who is shooting the gun to be blamed?
The
What do you
The,
guys?
person.
the person.
Yes, the person. So similarly, when you become an instrument in the hand of Krishna, you become a gun in the hand of Krishna, like Arjuna became. Arjuna killed so many in the battlefield, but he did not get any karma because he was doing it as an instrument in the hands of Krishna. Nimit mat bhavasavyasachi. Krishna said, be an instrument in my hand and act as you are supposed to act. Do your duty and your dharma. Can somebody read this particular slide?
I can read.
Yes, please.
The king who owned nothing. King Janaka ruled a massive opulent empire, yet he is celebrated in the epics as a pure karma yogi. When a fire once broke out of his capital Mithila, Janaka famously declared, if the whole Mithila burns to ashes, nothing of mine is lost. The lesson: he is perfectly exemplified as Tyakta Sarva Parigraha. He administrated immense wealth, armies, justice, but internally held zero false proprietorship. He was a pure steward of God's property, completely unaffected by the opulence surrounding him.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So somebody may say, here it is written that one should be just doing with bare necessities of life. But we see kings, king like Janak, king like Yudhishthir Maharaj, kings like Lord Ram, kings like Bharat Maharaj. So many kings like that are there. But they are very opulence. They have a lot of opulence. They have so much palaces are made of gold. Their jewelries, they have ornaments. Their whole, particular thing is uh, made in that manner. So here it is the example given of real consciousness of the king, how it should be. So the real consciousness of Yudhishthir Maharaj, of Raja Janak here, Parikshit Maharaj, the real consciousness was they owned nothing. That was their consciousness. And that is why when time came for retirement, they practically left everything at home and left to the uh, Vanaprastha. They left to the forest. You see in the description of Pandavas how they left, how Bharat Maharaj left, how Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed to die. He immediately left. If we have that consciousness, then we will not have problems in leaving and going. But conditioned souls like us, we think we are the enjoyers. Even if a small amount of um, uh, things which belong to us, maybe our money, maybe our resources, if they are taken away from us, we get so disturbed. We get so much anxiety. Oh my God. So here there is an example given. One time, Maharaj Janak was hearing the glories of the Lord. He was hearing from the scriptures, the Brahmanas, they were talking. Basically, the signs of God he was learning. And at that time, somebody came and said, this particular place is at fire. And because he was engaged in that service of hearing about God and the glories of God, he did not feel that he needs to be bothered or disturbed or he need to take his mind away. And he continued his service. And somebody said, you know, that, oh, you're not really worried. So at that time he said, even if the whole place burns, somebody was saying that, oh, you'll have so much loss. You'll have so much loss if everything gets burnt. He said, I will have no loss. He had an arrangement where things were being taken care. It's not that he was neglectful of his duties, but he was not letting these new uh, updates cause him to get distracted from his duties and responsibilities to God. That was exemplary. And that's why we see Krishna also spoke about King Janak in the previous chapter. And we know that how Mother Sita, she came to King Janak because of the consciousness. The consciousness was of the humble servant of the Lord. So this is perfect example that you may have so many things. You may be belonging, you may be very rich, but you yourself are not having the consciousness that this is mine. You are a caretaker. You are like a manager. You are basically managing all what you have to see how this can be best used in the service of God and how you can use your life in that manner for the service of Lord. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Anybody has any questions, any points, any comments, any reflections on this?
क्वेश्चन है।
Yes, ma'am.
आ, ये तुमने बताया कि ये एनिमल क्रूअल्टी और सब हो रहा है, तो
Yes.
मैंने देखा कि ये हरे कृष्णा में काऊ का मिल्क और पनीर सब अलाउड है और हनी भी अलाउड है, तो वो उसमें क्रूअल्टी नहीं होती क्योंकि उसमें सब वीडियो देख रही हूँ आजकल। तो पहला सतयुग में जो था वो अलग बात थी कि अच्छे तरह करते थे, मगर अब तो पूरा डेयरी फार्मिंग हो गया। उसका काप के साथ सबके साथ वो बिहेव अच्छा नहीं करते, तो क्या मिल्क और हनी स्टिल अलाउड होना चाहिए कि समय के साथ चेंज करना चाहिए? वीगन फूड अलाउ होना चाहिए कि मिल्क एंड हनी इज स्टिल अलाउड,
Yeah.
शुड बी अलाउड?
Beautiful question. This is a very nice question. So, what about milk and honey in this day and age? Should that also be consumed by devotees? Um, so the answer is why Vedic culture is having so much importance of milk products, ghee, so many sweets made of of milk. Why is that? The idea was to protect the cows. Just 100, 200 years ago, if you see, all people used to have their own cows. At least that's what we hear from and even read from different sources, that how cow protection was emphasized, and it was very normal for people to keep cows in the Vedic culture, especially in India. We can see that now. When you keep cows, you take care of the cows. There was no question of hurting the cows or encroaching upon the resources of the cows. That was not considered even acceptable, or there was no thought. So, in those days, that was the procedure. And if you see, in ISKCON, we have a lot of farm communities. Prabhupada emphasized on having our own cows and our own farms. And the cows are to be very, very nicely treated. Cows were not like now, Mataji was also mentioning, they were not treated like how commercial dairy they treats the cows. They treat in for exploitation. They treat for exploiting like a machine. They treat them like that. Now, that is not how it is supposed to be. In fact, they are generating heavy Ugra karma for that. So, what to do? Well, the answer is that we must try to identify those sources of or farms where the cows are protected. So we in Alachua, we have such farms. We are very fortunate. We have, a couple of farms like that where they treat the cows like the part of the family, and the cows never are killed. Cows stay alive throughout their life, and at the time of the death, they are actually respectfully taken care. So this is how one has to identify those areas and try to support those areas. Now, commercially, the milk will be, very cheap because they use all these chemicals, all these, the cows are sold after being treated as machines, and it's just not something which is very good. So definitely vegan options, if the vegan options are healthy, that is the best way to deal. But we are not vegans. We want cow protection. We don't want to ignore cows, because if nobody protects the cows, then cows will extinct. So what we want is cow protection. So either identify those farms which are supporting cows, give them, whatever support you can, and donation or whatever. Um, but many of these farms are self-sustained. They don't need donation. If you're buying milk, ghee, from such places, paneer, it'll be expensive. But that includes the cost of serving the cows throughout their life. When the cows are not useful in terms of giving milk, still they take care of the cows till the end of their life. So, like that, there are many, many projects like that in ISKCON, where you can even adopt a cow, support a cow, take care of the cow. So all those donations are there, and it is actually very beneficial when you do cow seva, go seva, and things like that. So that's something which should definitely be a priority. So we should identify those places, and if we can stay vegan, that is very nice also. But
या मेरा क्वेश्चन, मुझे लगता है कि ऑनियन और गार्लिक से जितना कर्म लगता है उससे ज्यादा ये तरह बछड़े को अलग करके किल करके उनको जो पेन देते हैं उससे ज्यादा कर्म लगता है। और ये रिसोर्सेस इजीली अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो मालूम हो तो शेयर करना, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि उसमें बहुत ही कर्म लगता है। और हनी बी का प्रोडक्ट देखा, उसमें भी ऐसा है कि वो की क्वीन बी का विंग कट करके उसका भी फार्मिंग करते हैं।
Yeah,
तो
exactly. So many things are going on. That's why I'm saying, okay, if you prefer, vegan diet, that is best. It has to be healthy, and then at the same time, if you want resources, I will share with you. Actually, if you planning to come tomorrow to the temple, we can take you to the farm. It's very close by, and they have very
mm,
nice arrangement.
yeah, like we don't mind paying little bit extra to
Yeah.
support that healthy business, but I don't know the location and the steady place we can get those
I will
supply
We'll take
healthy.
you tomorrow. And then in the temple also they have Gaushala, but they don't have so much milk to give outsiders. They keep
Yeah.
it for the temple. Uh, you know. Uh,
Yeah. मैंने सुना है कि इवन टेम्पल में भी वो लोग का इतना सप्लाई नहीं है कि वो अपने आप सेल्फ सफिशिएंटली मिल्क यूज कर सके।
yeah, we
कुछ
need
कुछ
lot of
बार वो उनको भी सैम्स क्लब सबसे वो डेयरी फार्म से लाना पड़ता है।
yeah, we need lot of support of devotees and volunteers like you, who
Yeah,
are thinking in this direction. Many people don't even think, they are least bothered. But thank you. That is very, very nice question.
thank you.
Okay. Should we move to the next shloka, or anybody else would like to share anything?
I just have one comment.
Yes, please.
So I think the way, like you explained, the cows were protected by consuming their milk and whatnot, their products. But maybe, and that's a very good point. So basically, what you're emphasizing is the process of consuming the animal product, the cow product, right? It is important to focus on the process rather than the product, right? And I just thought like that also connects with the Gita. You always focus on the process, the karma, and rather than the results. So, which is nice. But yeah, I again agree that vegan is probably the best. And it is the best rather than consuming cow. Because even in India, how the cows are treated, they are left on the street, they are straight. It's not very healthy. And they put it on religion that because we worship cows, so we do not want to move them away from the road. I'm not sure if that is protection.
No, that's
Sorry,
abuse.
I'm sorry. What?
And the way cows are treated in India, I mean, they put it on their philosophy and religion that we worship cows. That's why we don't disturb them, we don't remove them from the road, so let them be on the road. But I don't think that they are really
No,
protected. Yeah.
what exactly mean remove from the roads? For
Like,
selling it for
have
killing?
have we not seen that like the cows are all over the
No, no,
roads of
no. But
India?
but the other alternative is to sell them for killing.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. But they
Yeah.
have to
So the
be
question
there.
is, so we need people who own the cows and protect them.
And like we should
I
only
I
support the
mean,
business
the
who.
question
no,
is,
I
what is
think
the alternative
yeah,
for
I
the
think
cows?
government has to take care of it.
So
They
government,
have to.
that means the government has to be a little bit God conscious. Otherwise, these atheistic government, which government protects the cows in the whole world? Do you know any government?
No,
This
we do. We do. We do. We say we do, right? We say we care.
animal
Uh,
rights
No,
people.
no. Question is the government is chosen by us. And
Mhm.
many times the government, if it is a Hindu government, they may try to say no killing of cows, but any other government will not even say that.
But I
They
feel
will
like
say
killing is sometimes
killing the
better.
cows and no, but that is torturous.
Yeah, like
Better
killing
means
them. Oh, sorry. Okay.
killing means better means you don't know is that means how they are treated. You know, if you see how they are treated and how they are killed and how the skin is taken away and all of this is done, then you will never say killing is better. You know.
oh no,
Like if they
I'm
torture
never
them every
saying.
time. Yes, control.
I'm never saying that the killing is better, not at all. In fact, animal killing is one of the
Mataji.
vicious things to be done. But at the same time, what I'm saying is they have to given a shelter or they have to taken or removed from the roadsides that they are all over. And that is also not, I don't think that is protecting. We are letting them be on their own, that's good, but then they are not cared for. How it will be done? It's a big project because I was in Varanasi and the cows are all over the road and the rickshaws are going, autos are going, and they just pat the cow, remove them away. But
Oh,
they
I
but
would
there is
sign.
no there is no structural process through state or through city or through central government to give protection to them. Not killing. The killing question is not even coming. I know some of my colleagues who I recently heard because there was some celebration going on in another religion and that they butcher cow in their backyard. It is unbelievable. I was shocked. Like, how do you do that in your backyard? It is illegal even. And also in the United States, that's just unbelievable. But I heard they do. Well, that's a different question, but I'm talking about the Indian context as well. How should we protect the cow? If we believe in that philosophy, then I think there has to be an institutional process that should protect the cows. Just not say that, oh, we protect our cow and leave them on the road. We believe
No,
in
but
Hinduism.
no. I think that's where I strongly am not able to understand. Who says that we protect and leave them on the road? The people say don't kill them, but protection means owning them, keeping them, and serving them. And I don't think if we wait for any government to do it, that means we are going to keep waiting forever. It has to be done by private entity. And ISKCON is doing from their level at various farm communities, but I see a lot of other cow protection areas are also there, and there is another entity which is actually ISKCON devotees. They have actually uh, formed it, and this is called as International Society for Cow Protection. So this is another entity where devotees can support. And I will encourage actually two places for you to visit in India specifically because you are mentioning about India. Back to the text message. One is the Vrindavan Gaushala of ISKCON, and the second is uh, in Maharashtra near Mumbai. It is Govardhan Eco Village. I think there is some background noise from somewhere. I don't know. Maybe one of the people
Have a blessed day.
unmute. So, so these are the two places you should visit because I've visited many gaushalas, and all the gaushalas also don't have happy cows. But the most happy cows I found in these two places. I've been to outside gaushalas which are not ISKCON and been to gaushalas which are with ISKCON. Many of the American gaushalas basically they just get the cows, they take it from preventing them from getting slaughtered from the slaughterhouse. And so those cows are obviously not really spent that long in protection. But many of these gaushalas, which I'm talking especially in Vrindavan and Govardhan Eco Village, you will see actually very happy cows. And they have been there for some generations. Some of them are born there. So they are really very nicely protected, and that is called as cow protection. I think other than that, talking about religion or other thing, I think that's just getting a little distracted because everybody is going to be looking at money. If there is money, they can actually support or protect the cows. If there is no money, then nobody, no farmer will keep the cows with them till the end unless they are actually dedicated to the mission of cow protection. And that's why we need people who have that characteristic, that character is there, and that quality is there for them. I will like to get comments from everybody who would like. I think Geeta has raised her hand for some time, so maybe Geeta Mataji can share. Then we can come
So,
back.
yes, thank you, Hare Krishna, everyone. So actually, in India, mein, like government, Narendra Modi is very protective for cows, but it's probably like individual responsibility. And even the UP government, they are like, uh, also very protective of cows. But what I have seen that like when I was growing up, when I was in school, I was in Delhi. So, like cows were so free. Like, हमारे घर में like we used to get like, there was this cow who used to come walk around the streets and would, knock on our door for roti because we used to like keep roti. First roti would be cow's roti, and then that's how like life was back then. But then India may, like, how people have adopted western culture and they started consuming cow meat because us waqt to, like, also I was little, so I did not know much ki duniya mein kya ho raha hai. But when I grew up and entered medical college, then I noticed that people are eating cow meat. Then I was like shocked to see कि, India में भी ऐसा होता है. but because of कि इतने सारे लोग और आजकल तो it has become a fashion trend कि oh you don't eat this type of meat and how come like you are not cool.
Yeah.
But back then, like when I was growing up, at least I saw, and it was not like I'm not old, I'm not like 70 or something, but I mean, I'm, I don't want to say my age, but us
Yeah.
waqt, cows were really protected, and even the stray cows used to have freedom. They would just sit on the side of the road and eat whatever you give them, and they looked happy, at least I have seen happier cow. But nowadays, like throwing plastic, like small things are responsibilities of people. Government can just educate you that okay, या तो rules बना सकते हैं strict कि cow meat is banned in India, but उससे ज़्यादा I don't know like how much they can do, but it's a person's responsibility कि प्लास्टिक ना फेंके, क्योंकि मैं अभी दिल्ली गई थी एंड आई सॉ cows like eating food from a plastic bag, और उसके मुंह में चिपक गया था प्लास्टिक, एंड जैसे हमारे जैसे हाथ नहीं है उसके टू रिमूव इट. सो आई एम लाइक आस्किंग माय ब्रदर कि जा यार उसका प्लास्टिक निकाल, लाइक हाउ शी विल गेट सफोकेटेड. So, I mean, I don't know, like population explosion and everything is like out of proportion. लोगों के घर छोटे हो गए हैं. So there is no way to take care of cows now, and I think it's like it's individual responsibilities. But there are like goshalas. I visited some goshalas. वहाँ पर भी मतलब कुछ गौशालास यू आर राइट बहुत अच्छी होती हैं जहाँ काउस बहुत हैप्पी होती हैं, दे हैव फ्रीडम टू बट उतना स्पेस नहीं है दिल्ली में. तो द वंस आई विजिटेड दे वर लाइक एंकेज्ड, यू नो वो मतलब वो बोल रहे थे काउस ना सैर करने गई हैं रोड पे एंड दे कम बैक टू दैट प्लेस टू टेक शेल्टर. सो
Yeah, but I am not agree with those free roaming because I like this American culture. They have like animal control things and adoption center. If they have safe space, is better for them. Should have a safe space. Otherwise, should be controlled because life living hell then is better than dying. Like you should animals should have opportunity to die than suffering every day to give somebody some profit. Like I seen cows with so many infection because they get hit by vehicles when they roam freely and nobody take care of their worms or anything, and then they eat plastic and all kind of junk. They don't have routine medical care or any care. Even if they get injured, they just produce milk, so they let them go out in the morning and they collect them back in the evening. So I feel like we should learn something from American culture, that they like dog, so they don't eat dog, but they should give them happy life when they are living, and at the end if they like sometime happy cleaning, like let them go if they are ready to go. Don't just keep them there and let them suffer. I feel like happy life for animal is as important as human. And the way I am a business person, so I feel like supporting the people who does the happy business, like good business, we should support them. So once we should start from us, then the government. We should buy the people who doing the happy, like quality farming and
Yeah.
treating their animal better. We should find those resources and support them, even if it's double price or something. You should, once you start supporting them, they grow and you go. It's like a win-win situation. But if you just like, if we have gosala, it's just like 1% or 2% cow are safe, but all other cows are just abused every day. So I feel like it's supporting. Once we buy those ready-made paneer or milk to make all those stuff, it's not like, because supporting healthy farming and or the supporting cows, because I see as soon as they give birth they take their calf away to use that milk for the produce. So I feel like those emotions and their hormones that affect us as well, just like they have a poultry farm and free roaming farm. So there is a difference. So you get the, once you understand the difference, you should support the happy, that quality farming. So, and it should be starting from us. So that's
Yeah.
how, that's what I believe, and that's, there should be a shelter. like yeah, adoption center or the that I know there are some, but it's not good enough in quantity in India. When I grew up 20 years ago, I was in India. I seen those, but they are very rare, one or two, and they are very crowded. Even humans are crowded. So I don't think government should do everything. We should start from ourselves a little bit, like
Yeah.
supporting those business and doing something big. I like, as a practical person, I can understand nobody can have a cow in their house nowadays, but we can do whatever we can do best and start from something, then supporting those abuse.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yes, Maushmi Mataji is raising hands.
Yeah, I was just going to say that yes, as Mataji said, that we should learn from America as well, how they, like, I think she gave a very good example. They love their pets, dogs and cats, but they don't eat them. And so they give protection, they give them a control center. And if you hurt them, they have a very strict rules and regulations. So I think that way, they are not infected and sitting on the road or getting hurt, but as well as the human passages are also clear. So because oftentimes I hear also from my American friends that you guys say you have this cow worshipping and all those things, but look how you treat your cows. They are all sitting on the roads and you just care less about them. So that is also not a good approach. I'm not sure how happy those cows can be, but they look like they are suffering as well. So yes, there has to be some initiative from, I don't know, NGOs, governments, or through collaborations and stuff like that. But I don't know if there is any yojana or anything of that sort in there. um, I don't know, but I know how cows are treated so well. My grandma used to have, of course, it's in village, so she used to have cows, but it's a different kind of treatment when you own them, keep them in your own household. But the way they are treated in the big cities, on the towns, it's not appropriate.
Yeah, I live in Alachua now, and I see so many farm around me, and I see free roaming cow. I feel like contacting them and get milk. I don't know, they are meat producing cow or milk producing cow, but I like the way it treat them as long as they are alive for 5, 10, 15 years. I know even my kids' friend, they have cow, but they are treating them happy. Like they are treating them good for at least 5 to 10 years, and one day they do whatever they do for survival. Just like we are evolving every day. Like in India, this our Satyug, we had like 100 wives and everything. We change from now, like one wife, and we improve so much, like Sati Pratha or anything. So I feel like, why are we not improving in those cow and the milk industry? Like if it's helping animal or human is good, but if it's not helping, it's just adding up to cruelty. I feel like we should look for some alternatives, or look for the better options that treat cow better and we get the good things from them.
Yeah. The only thing I don't agree with is killing of the cows. I agree with
Mm,
everything everybody else said, but some people said killing is better or better to
mm,
kill. I don't agree with that
mm,
completely. I think just like any human being who may be having suffering or maybe in the hospital going through treatment, and we don't say, hey, just kill him or,
mm,
just let him die. Or no, we have other measures. We have hospice or other ways
mm,
where we can minimize their suffering
mm,
if they are in a situation to die, but not because I want to exploit every part of their body. The skin will
mm,
be peeled off to make
yeah.
leather. Uh,
Mhm,
the other bones will be taken. So many other things. So I don't think we can really make a argument of that. But the good thing is that everybody is wanting alternatives, and those who live in or around Alachua, we do have alternatives actually, and we
mhm,
have people who are not just letting the cows roam, but take
mhm,
good care of the cows as family, and then even not kill them for their
mhm,
survival. They are not killing them, they are keeping them till the end. which is
Yeah.
actually best of both worlds. So I think we can actually look into those alternatives more, and
Yeah.
I'll be happy to take you there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing which I feel like it's not just actual milk, but so many products which we see in the market, which people may be buying, does have dairy in it. And I think many times we have to, read the ingredients and identify all of those things. Um,
Yeah.
and the other thing was mentioned, onion garlic, no problem. Onion garlic is not related to this. Onion garlic is for the state of mind, how it affects our consciousness. So that's a different topic altogether. And people can avoid both. It's not that
Mm-hmm.
one or the other. We can avoid dairy, if it's from cruelty places, and can take from those places which are protecting animals and protecting the cows. And we can also avoid onion garlic, and we can at the same time have sattvic prasadam, which we can offer to the Lord. Remember, anything which is offered to the Lord, everybody gets benefited, but it has to be amongst those things which are mentioned, which we can offer. We can't offer,
Yeah.
non-vegetarian products, but we can offer those things which are actually meant, and everybody gets benefited by that, even those who may be, engaged unknowingly in the process.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
trying. I'm
just
trying
just just
hard.
one just one point I want
Okay.
to make. I think this discussion can go on for
Okay.
very long time. I would be happy to take some final points people want to make, but I think after that, it may be nice to actually visit. And whoever would like to visit Gainesville, Alachua area, we can take you to those farms which we have locally. But I highly encourage you that you can support wherever you may be. You can support such, endeavors. We have farms, like I said, two of them I visited, Vrindavan and Govardhan Eco Village. Both of them you can support from here. They are initiatives where cows are protected so beautifully. But then there are in America also Gita Nagari in Pennsylvania, and New Vrindavan in West Virginia are two another farms which are of ISKCON, apart from many other projects where cow protection is emphasized. In fact, I've gone there and I have myself milked milk out of the cows and seen how they are treated. Unfortunately, many of them were rescued, so they are obviously having all those trauma and stuff, and they are recovering from that. And devotees are doing their best to serve them. So those examples are there, and we can support any of these projects by visiting them, or financial help, or whatever way you want to visit, because we can be the change which we want to see in others. So I'll stop
Mhm.
here, but other devotees can make their final comments if anybody
I
wants to
just
make.
have a quick question. You mentioned about West Virginia. Is there any special permission or anything needed to visit that place?
No, that's a lot of tourists visit there. The whole summer they have cottages there for people to come and stay, and they have cottages there which are usually booked for every weekend. For the most part, they have small rooms also there. If big family is there, they have big areas where you can rent the whole cottage for a day or two. Uh, or if visit one or two people visit, then they have single rooms which you can, it's just like they have arrangements for visiting devotees. So they have good arrangement there, and they have it's very nice location. They have a palace of gold, which is devotees have made with their, love and devotion for Krishna and Prabhupada. So they can tour that, how these things are made. Very valuable things they have put in there. Many of them are made by just devotees. So a lot of worth seeing things at New Vrindavan. And then Gita Nagari is another place which is actually supplying cruelty-free milk to many, many people, many, many temples, and even to Whole Foods. Actually, they were supplying at one point.
Yeah.
So, like that, there are a lot of projects which are going on, and I'm glad that was brought up, and that way I was able to share these things.
Yeah, last question. I know there are devotee having cows here, but they have like tied up, and I believe in free roaming. So even if they are Christian or Muslim, but if they are doing healthy practice, so is it okay to get milk and support those things, or as a
No,
devotee you
I,
should
I,
support
I
only
think
large?
I think first you have to take care of the cows or be in the farm for some time to see how they are treating, Just
Mhm.
judging people, it may be difficult. At the end of the day, if they are killing the cow, the karma comes to everybody. So I would not encourage to support any farms which kill the cows, mistreat them, torture them. And unless you spend some time, you won't actually know the details there. I know personally that there are people who left whatever they were doing for cow protection, and I
Mhm.
can see that that is what they're passionate about. Their mission is to protect the cows. So I support such people who are taking
Yeah.
such endeavor rather than supporting who is Muslim, which I know is going to kill the cow in the Eid, right?
Mhm.
Or
Mhm.
Christians who will kill or sell. So I would not necessarily go for that when I have better alternatives.
Mhm. So, like the tied up cows are like
Well,
healthier, happier.
sometimes children have to be in a particular, boundary so that they don't hurt themselves or harm themselves. So I don't know what scenario you're talking about.
But all the time, I'm talking about all the time, not just a few
I am,
hours.
yeah, I'm not seeing any devotees doing that.
Oh, okay. Now, I grew up in India. Even my parents, grandparents have those farm, and I know it's close to the house, but it's cow is all the time
But
tied
though,
up.
but those people are doing it for making money. That may
Yes.
be in India or wherever. They are just doing it for, exploiting. So that doesn't count.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, that's not because they're what they're doing because of their religion. They could do it, whatever religion they may practice, because that's what.
Yeah, like I just want a happy win-win situation, like support to the cow, and we get good milk or the
Yes, so that's the
whatever the
that's
item.
yeah, that's the alternative which we'll share with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, interesting discussion. Okay, yes, Mataji. So in the chat, they are saying if I can share the name. Yes, I'll share some of the links in our group so devotees can look into those and see, visit those places, support those places, experience how there are. In fact, I'll tell you a small story before we end. So there was this devotee who was protecting cows, and there were situations when totally mad people, schizophrenia and that kind of mad people who don't know what is going on, they just roam around. So that person landed up at his place, and what he did was he just fed this man, this mad person. He gave him hot meal, which was offered to Krishna, Prasad, and he engaged that person in service of cows. Only these two things he did, and this person actually became all right. After a few months, this became all right, and when he became all right, he left the farm. And then later on, this became again mad and came back. So basically, this devotee was sharing that how protection of cows and taking hot prasadam, fresh prasadam, was helping this boy to get better from the mental disease. And he was going back to the normal lifestyle, and the normal style lifestyle, the way it is created, he is getting mad again. So this is how we have created our society. We are going away from nature, and sometimes that is affecting our health, our consciousness, our mentality, and not doing too good to us. So it's time to, see how we can make small changes or big changes in our lifestyle, which brings us closer to nature and closer to Krishna. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much, everyone, for your active participation. We'll end here. Granth
Thank
Raj
you.
Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.